I'm now 94 days in, and my balls just will not let me loose. No matter how hard I try, no matter how hard I try to just do bad habits, it doesn't let me anymore. You know, here's an example. I just, the past 2 days, I wanted to fill out my physique a little bit. So I figured, okay, let me experiment here. Let me try to just, bring up my carbs a bit. Let me try to just really just fill out because I've been in a depleted state for a very long time now, and I figured it's time to kind of fill out the frame, test it out because I'm going on vacation next week. So I wanted to try to see, test run it in order to see where I would be able to, how many carbs I would need in order to fill out my frame for next week. Pretty much, essentially, so I have my best look moving forward. And I did that for a day, and I kind of ate, pretty clean, just extra carbs. Got it from rice cakes, from extra rice, just muffins, just extra, just pure carbs. And then the next day, I looked really good. I looked really phenomenal, especially in the gym. I looked incredible and felt really, really good. And then, I said, you know what? Let me try it again. I look really good. Let me give it another day. And then that was just a reason for me to get absolutely sloppy. I was on my diet on point all day. And then I said, you know what? Let me carb up again. So then I started carbing up on it, just a whole lot of garbage. It wasn't clean this time. And then, God came down and tried to he gave me a major warning. He came down and said, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I ate so much goddamn food that, my heart started to just, feel like I've never felt my heart just in this much pain before. I thought I had to go to the ER. I thought it was genuinely over. I couldn't even stand up straight because maybe I had too much sodium or whatever it was. But my body couldn't handle all of this at once because it was used to being in such a clean, pure state, and then I just filled it up with all this garbage. It couldn't handle any of it. So then, I ate so much to the point where I was sick and I had to vomit it all out. But it taught me such a valuable lesson, right? I kind of I try to get a little bit off track of my mission, of everything I was trying to do. And then it didn't allow me to do that. It gave me a warning shot of, listen, if you don't get this done this time around, you're going to die. That's the warning shot it gave me. And it was a real big just wake up call. No matter how much I try to advert from, my potential sometimes along this journey, I can't take any of it for granted. I have to just keep going, keep pushing through, right? I can't just think I can't just get comfortable. I feel like that at that point, I was maybe a little bit comfortable. I was comfortable with my physique. I was comfortable with where I was heading and all that, so I just eased off the throttle a little bit. And then within doing that, I got a death warning. Listen, man, if you don't get all of this done, if you don't become who you're supposed to become, you're going to die. And that was enough, of a scare to me right there, right then and there. It was I need to just make sure that I'm just on point all the time with it all. There's no room for slip-ups on this journey because any slip-up will just, delay the inevitable of what you're supposed to be. But days like this too, always push me forward and push me ahead. A day like that would really, really, really mess me up. early along in the journey. And it would make me want to do things like relapse and all this stuff. But no, now it's just like, no, just like keep on going. Keep on going. Fix what you did yesterday, Make sure you just get right back up on your clean diet, amp up the cardio like an insane amount. And punish yourself for that sort of behavior. Hold yourself accountable like you always do. And then just keep on moving forward. It was good to fill out. It was good to test out. I did my job there. But then I went overboard. I gave myself excuses of why I can just eat a bunch of garbage food just for the sake of it. And just, dive into my gluttony like a little bitch. And I couldn't do that. And now, like, my physique, like, it spilled over a little bit, and I'll get it right back, right before vacation, because I know I'm just going to lock the fuck back in and just get it all done again. But then it translated to everything else too, I wasn't so amped up to go to work and all this stuff. I wasn't pumped up about life. So those little days where it may seem like a little thing that you messed up, it translates to every other aspect. And then it just ruins your momentum. Even with the videos, like, I was questioning even, like, posting videos anymore. Like, what am I doing? This, that. Like, getting all up in my head about that. Right? Like, why? I try to, like, self-sabotage myself, but then my balls don't let me. My balls say, hey, man, just shut the fuck up and just get back to work. Like, God literally gave me the warning shot last night. Like, yo, you need to wake up. You need to just keep on going. Don't get comfortable. And I know this. Getting comfortable at this point, like, what the fuck? Who am I if I get comfortable at this point? Where I have so much potential to unlock right now. Right now is the epitome of it all. The beginning of it all. And I want to get comfortable. Stop being such a bitch. And get it the fuck together. Alright? Get it the fuck together. You have the capability to just keep sharpening your spear. Just keep sharpening your sword. And just going at it. Just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You have all this, like, power within you that I gave you. And you want to just waste it all? So be it. If you want to waste it all, I'll take you out myself. That's what God said to me. If you want to waste all your potential, say no more. These are your last days then. That's what he told me. So when, like, people say, oh, God spoke to me, this, that, like, it's kind of this, like, it's hard to explain, because there is this voice, this inner voice of you. Like, you are the consciousness of your own God. And bro, people, like, a lot of people look at these videos too, like, and think that I'm going crazy or I'm spiraling out of control and I'm playing some sort of character, But, like, you have to understand. You have to really just be real passionate about what this is. You have to be real passionate about, what you're doing with your life. I just look like this because I'm passionate. I don't want to give up on myself ever again. So I talk with so much conviction of who I want to be, who I'm supposed to be, who I am. The type of person that I am. But I'm human. I slip up. I slip up a lot. My whole life, all I've ever done is slip up. But, on being on Semen retention, it helps you just bounce back from it all. Like, no matter how bad you slip up, you just bounce right back from it. And then it reinstills that anger and that hunger again, which is perfect, which is just beautiful. And it's just, there's this beautiful flow of just energy within you. And then it helps you refocus on the things that actually matter. And gets you right back on track. I got just way too comfortable with just, trying to just dive into old habits again. You know, when I need to just keep evolving. I evolved to a certain point and then I got comfortable because I got to my goals. Well, no, I need to push even harder. Way harder. Because I'm not at the overall point that I want to be at. You know, I'm very like early along within this journey. You know, my power is only starting to just have this recharge. And people will think that this doesn't have some sort of, spiritual like factor to it or this or that, but it does. Like your whole body just, craves, more just pure energy. Like just pure energy. That's why it's just like it's hard for me to even eat like fast food anymore or anything like that. My body just totally rejects it. When it used to love all that shit, but now it just fucking rejects it all. But yeah, along this journey, the deeper you get in, and the more your balls just fill up with just powerful semen. You have to understand semen, the power of cum. It spawns life. It is life force energy. It spawns a brand new human and brings them into the world. It spawns a brand new consciousness. So why would you think that has no power? You know, it may seem like silly and all, but it's true. Why would you think it just has no sort of power if you hold that in you? So you're more connected to consciousness. You have more consciousness. You make more of the right choices. And your body rejects everything that doesn't serve you anymore. It completely rejects it. That's why my body, like I don't want to say it because I don't want to like speak anything into existence. But I almost like had a heart attack, man. Like that's really what it felt like. I thought it was over. And no one was around me or anything like that. So it just, that would have sucked, man. That would have sucked if I just died right there. And then I go to like the afterworld or whatever. And then God's standing there. He's like, really? Really? You died over this? You died over eating like a sandwich? Like over eating, a bunch of junk food? When you had all this potential, he maps out all my potential. Puts it all out on the board. And then he says, really, man? This is what you died for? When you could have done all of this? I set out this whole roadmap for you. I gave you, everything you needed. I was helping you along your journey. And then you went against it all. You betrayed me. You betrayed your word. And you disgraced your body. Man, imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine dying a loser. That would have been horrible. That would have been the worst way to go out, man. And people would be like, oh, you're being over dramatic, bro. It's just like, it wasn't that deep, this, that. It is. It is. Because every time now that I don't give it my all, within a day, I'm real fucking angry at myself. Because my potential of what that day could have been, I'll never get that back. I'll never get that day back. And now I can move forward to the next day, but I'll never get that day back that could have been, something to really just push me forward in a positive direction. I just tried to self-sabotage and ruin it all for no goddamn reason. I let my, past self try to just sabotage who I'm becoming. Fuck that. Fuck that. So anytime that like happens now, I just need to fucking bury that motherfucker in the grave, man. Just truly just get rid of him. Everything. I mean everything. I have to change everything about myself and not slip up in any sort of way. Because then it drags me down to the person that I used to be. Anytime that I, try to do some sort of old habit, that I used to do all the time in the past, but I'll do it for like, a little bit now. And anytime I do that, I'm always reminded of all of the negative that comes with that. Like immediately. Like this journey literally doesn't allow me to go back to my former self. It is ushering me ahead to that future version of who I am, who I was always supposed to be, and my full-on potential. And that is great. That is phenomenal. That is incredible. But I have to just remember to stay focused on the mission at hand. Like, you have to just be like a soldier within this process until you get the things that you want. And then you decide from there. Now, do you want to just keep going, or do you want other things for your life? Do you want maybe to settle down and start having kids? But for me, I don't think I'll ever want to settle. I don't think it will ever give me some sort of true satisfaction. Settle for what? What is the point of settling when I just want to keep getting better and keep evolving? You know, until the very day that I die, that I pass away. And I may have, you know, a very long time in this world, man. I may have 50 more years. 50 more years. Like, I've really only been, like, consciously, like, aware of everything that's been going on for the past, I don't know, 10, 11 years. So I have 5 more blocks of that. That is a long time. That is a very long time. But short as well. If I don't do the right things, and if I don't understand, you know, to utilize my time extremely wisely. And not fill my mind with bullshit, not fill my body with bullshit, but just truly just, you know, just grow on this journey and become better and better and better and better. You know, I need to just always hold myself accountable, always hold myself to this high standard in order to actually evolve my life in the direction that I want to go. But my balls are holding me accountable even when, like, my old self is trying to resurrect and come back from the dead. You know, you just have this altered consciousness of of everything that is possible. Like, you can just dream your dreams that are in your head can all just come into fruition extremely quickly upon this journey. And you want to waste that potential? Just really think about it. Just stop being a fucking bitch. Just stop being a loser and get it the fuck together. Stop being somebody that loses and get it the fuck together. Because that's how you win in the end. Just consistently doing better, little by little. So when you have those days when you don't do so great and you do worse, that really holds you back from your, you know, from your potential in the long run. So the less days that you have of that, the better. But you should keep that to an absolute zero at a certain point. And the further I go along on this journey, I know all of that will dissipate. You know, because I'm just going to become stronger mentally and physically. Like, I feel my body just getting better, like physically better and better and better, and just I'm more focused on everything. And I'm ready to just keep pursuing the fucking mission. I love you guys, as always. Shtora.